name's Lori Bumbaco. I'm a registered dietitian. I'm also board certified as a specialist in oncology nutrition, and I'm back again. That's because one of my favorite holidays is right around the corner, and that's Thanksgiving. A great time of the year to celebrate with our loved ones what we're grateful for. And I thought maybe it would be a good opportunity to invite some nutrition to the table as you celebrate your special holiday. So if you haven't noticed before, on the Judy Nicholson Kidney Cancer Foundation's YouTube page, we have several videos where, as I, the dietitian, have shared a little bit of my information and knowledge to anyone who has been diagnosed with cancer, some nutrition tips, some solutions, so that you can nourish your body no matter where you are along the continuum of your care. Because we know that nutrition is so critical as you are diagnosed and receiving your treatment or recovering from your treatment. So for this amazing holiday that we appreciate this time of year, I thought, you know what, I'm not going to challenge anyone to do anything that's so outside the box, but I thought maybe there are some opportunities for you to invite some plant-based recipes so that you can still enjoy the holiday and nourish your body in ways that are also, they just so happen to be really delicious. So let's start first with one of my favorites. It's this one right here. And gosh, I wish you were here with me right now to see how really stunning this is in person. I'm talking about this beautiful plant-based snack board. So have you heard of charcuterie? You probably have. Very trendy right now and very popular, certainly for holiday gatherings, to put out a spread of cheese and maybe some processed meat or some cured meats. Well, I challenge you. Could you match that charcuterie or replace it with a plant-based snack board? I think you can. And this is really your opportunity to shine, because when you bring this to the table, I promise you there will be nothing left. And your loved ones will get to enjoy some great plant-based options. So a plant-based snack board can be whatever it is you want it to be, but I would suggest that you include some fresh vegetables. Like I have some sliced cucumbers here. I have some rainbow carrots here. I also have some fresh fruit, like seasonal fresh fruit especially. So I have some persimmon. And then I also have some pears. And gosh, I mean, pears are going to make more than one appearance in my presentation today because they are a delicious highlight of the season. I also have on here some dried fruit. So I have some dried figs, and literally that's all it is, dried figs. They're so delicious. And then I added some other crunch. So I added some crisp bread here. And this product has seeds in it. So imagine how nourishing that is for the protein and the fiber, but to give you that crunch and that satisfaction. I also wanted to give my guests something to dip all of this goodness in. So I have a pumpkin hummus here, and I also have a cashew-based cheese spread right alongside. So we're talking like, this is a vegan spread. Really, really good stuff. And then I thought I would also highlight some other standout ingredients for the season, and that's some fresh herbs. So I just included some rosemary sprigs right alongside to sort of add to the decor. And then of course our lovely pomegranate. So are you familiar with pomegranate? It is so fun, but really nutritious. Super high in antioxidants. And I want to show you a little trick that I learned along the way for what to do when you have this whole pomegranate. How do you get the little seeds outside of this, or inside out, right, to enjoy it? So my trick that I've learned is that I cut it in half, and then in my little bowl here, I'm going to give it a little whack. And this is where you get some activity and some exercise in the kitchen as well. So literally, you just hold the cut side down into the bowl and give it a whack with your spoon. And the seeds will come out. Really, really fun. Really, really fun. So now these seeds can be used in a lot of different ways. I like to garnish with them. So think about anything you might have that a seed would go on. You know, maybe it's your oats in the morning, or a dish of yogurt, or on top of a salad, or as I did on the snack board, I put them on top of my dips. So the pumpkin hummus and my cashew cheese have some of these pomegranate seeds right on top. And it really adds some pretty color for some festive nutrition. Really fun stuff. Okay, so there's your plant-based snack board. Now get creative with this, because the sky is the limit. You have so many options to consider as it relates to your snack board. Now I want to show you 2 ideas for plant-based sides. And they're great examples of ideas to have for Thanksgiving, but really, technically you can have them any time of the year. So the first one I want to share with you is one of my favorites. And this comes from another standout from the season, and that's our sweet potato. So I don't know if you noticed, but sweet potato at Thanksgiving, it tends to be really sweet. It tends to have some added sugar, maybe some marshmallows on top. It tends to be technically dessert. And I just want to introduce another way to prepare sweet potatoes. So what I did is I took about 3 to 4 medium sweet potatoes. I peeled them. You can decide to leave the skin on if you want. And then I diced them relatively small. I put them in my saucepan. I brought that to a boil, and then I simmered it uncovered for about 10 minutes. Then, again, I got my activity in the kitchen. So I like to mash with a wooden spoon. You can use certainly your handheld mixer if you decide you want to whip your sweet potatoes, but I just like to add a little bit of texture, a little bit of chunk to my sweet potato. So I used my wooden spoon, and I got in there and I just mashed away. So we have a pretty good texture, but to this, I want to add some more flavor. And instead of going super sweet, I'm actually going to go a little savory with my mashed sweet potato. So to this, I'm going to add some fresh chopped chives, yum, and also some fresh parsley. We're going to add that right into the pot, because I like little cleanup if I can help it. And then to that, I'm also going to add garlic. How do you not add garlic, right? So delicious. A little bit of garlic in there. It's all minced for me. And then I'm going to add a special ingredient. So get ready for this. This is not sour cream, but plain Greek yogurt. Remember, that's a great substitute, and it gives you an instant nutrition upgrade. So in our plain Greek yogurt, we get protein. We also get vitamins and minerals like calcium. And then we also get probiotics, really good for the gut. So we don't even notice a difference in flavor, right? Because plain Greek yogurt is sour, just like sour cream is. So I'm going to add this as well to my pot, and I'm going to combine all of that together. Really super simple, but delicious recipe. So we're going to combine together. We're going to mix right in the pot. And it's still a little bit warm, so those flavors are going to meld together. And I want you to see what this looks like. So I'm going to pour this out into my bowl for you to see. It smells delicious. It smells like Thanksgiving, but a plant-based Thanksgiving. So I'm going to put this into my bowl here for you to see. And sometimes I think like half of winning people over with plant-based dishes is the presentation. So we want to make sure this looks pretty, right? I mean, we know it's going to taste good. But we're going to put this into our bowl. Oh, I can't wait to have this. I only wish you were here with me to enjoy it. That's what Thanksgiving is all about, right? Now, with these sweet potatoes, if you wanted to, you could leave the skin on if you prefer your sweet potatoes that way. I decided to peel them. Okay. So here we have our mashed sweet potatoes. I have them a little chunky because that's how I like my texture. And then to this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little drizzle of olive oil, and real high quality olive oil. You might want to taste this before you kind of finish it off. If it needs a little salt, maybe you want to add a little cracked pepper on top, you get to decide. But I'm going to finish this with a drizzle of that beautiful olive oil. And if you wanted to, you could also swirl in a little bit of that extra Greek yogurt. You would just swirl right alongside that. And then to that also, I'm going to finish it with some fresh parsley. Really pretty. And if I decided to, I could also add some of those pomegranate seeds. I only wish you could see this and taste this and smell this because it's divine. It's a nice take on sweet potatoes. Okay, so we got 2 down. I got 2 more left to demonstrate for you. So I thought, to keep in the tradition of plant-based choices, what I thought I would suggest for you is something very simple that you could use for Thanksgiving, but again, any night, any day of the year. And that's your simple roasted vegetables. So what I decided to do, and I put them on the plate here, I decided to take some seasonal vegetables. And so I took some cubed butternut squash, some broccoli, and then some mushrooms. And then I took some whole garlic heads. Have you ever roasted garlic this way? So I literally trimmed off the top of the whole garlic head. And what you can do after roasting it is you can squeeze them out of their little garlic head. So you can take it clove by clove and you can squeeze them out, and you can use this as a spread. So I could take some of my crisp bread and I can squeeze that right on top. It is so delicious. So there's your roasted vegetables, but I have a special version that I want you to look for. Okay, so I don't know where you might be watching from, but I want you to look for this really fun, super festive, seasonal, plant-based choice. Does anyone know what this is? So this happens to be an entire stalk of Brussels sprouts. And I literally just washed it off, made sure it was dry, and then I brushed a little olive oil on the outside, and I roasted it in the oven just like this, because I think it's really fun to eat it this way. So I don't have the best serving platter here, but you can put it on a serving platter. And here's what's really fun. You can have guests, hopefully it's loved ones, who are safe and keeping you safe, but you literally peel, you just twist and turn your Brussels sprouts right off the whole stalk. So fun and easy, right? Because all I did was literally put the whole stalk in the oven. Really fun. So you can use this in your dips as well, but I have a creative idea for you to think about for your roasted vegetables in terms of a dip. So this is another plant-based choice, and I want to show you very quickly, really easy to put together. So in my bowl, I'm going to add some tahini. So this is right out of the jar. And tahini is basically it's ground up sesame paste. It's delicious. If you haven't used it already, I encourage you to look for it and try it. There's so many different applications for your tahini. I like to use it as a dip or as a dressing, sometimes as a sauce to finish my roasted vegetables, and it really adds a whole nother different flavor that I think you're gonna enjoy. Okay, so my tahini is in my mixing bowl, and then to that, of course, I have to add some ingredients, right? Some flavor. So I'm gonna add, again, a little bit of garlic. I go back for that. And a little bit of fresh squeezed lemon juice. So we're gonna really give this some punch. So we're gonna add a little bit of that and just a touch of salt. You can taste and add as you prefer, whatever you like. And then we're gonna use a fork, and again, we're getting physical in the kitchen. So we're gonna mix this together. If you wanted to, you certainly could use a blender or a processor to process this rather than using a fork. It might be a little tough at first, so I think you might want to add more liquid to it, depending on the consistency that you're looking for. So if I'm going to use this as a dip, I'm going to keep it relatively thick. But if you wanted to make this thinner, it could be a sauce, right? You could even turn this into a dressing for a salad. Really flavorful, really easy, and it's not processed, right? So think of our salad dressings or dips that we buy at the supermarket. A lot of them have added salt, added sugar, added fats, but here we use a very simple, like 3 or 4 ingredients, right? Really delicious and certainly very nutritious. So the consistency, it's kind of pasty right now. I think I'm going to add a little bit more hot water. But this goes a long way. I mean, I would spread this on some wheat toast in the morning. There's lots of ideas to use this for. You could add a little bit of olive oil to this as well if you feel like that's something that would add a little bit more depth to the flavor. And it just requires a little patience. But now it's starting to come together. So now we have a little bit of a thinner consistency. And again, you could blend this or process this if you prefer. But it's delicious as a dip. Voila. Okay. And that's how you could tell, you can just kind of see what's the consistency you're looking for. So this is probably good consistency for a dip. So that goes so well with our roasted vegetables and our entire stock of Brussels sprouts. So again, you just peel, you just twist, and you dig right in. Delicious. I'm going to enjoy this a little bit later. So I'm going to finish off with my final recipe, and I thought it was only appropriate that I would consider a dessert, right? A dessert for Thanksgiving. So I thought I would take advantage of a seasonal choice, and that is in our pears. So I happen to love pears. They are very high in fiber. There's actually more than 5 grams of fiber in this single pear. That's great because most of us are not eating enough fiber. So here's a great opportunity to enhance the sweetness by baking this in the oven and adding a little extra sweet to help coax it along the way. So what I did is I took my pear and I split it in half, and then I cored out the seeds that are in the middle because I wanted to add a little something to that pear. So what I did is I chopped up some dates, and then I added to those dates some chopped pecans, and then also too some chia seeds and hemp seeds, and then a little bit of cinnamon on top. I put that in the oven. I baked that for about 20 minutes, and voila, I have these delicious, again, beautiful plant-based versions of a dessert. So naturally sweetened, right? There's no added sugar here, but you have the natural sugars of the pears, the natural sugars of the dates, but then you get some interesting texture and crunch with your hemp seeds and your chia seeds. And then I missed that part. I added pecans to this. And of course, I added some pomegranate seeds because we have some to use, right? So really showcasing some of the stellar choices, some plant-based choices for the season to celebrate the holiday. Now, I hope you get to try at least one of these. Maybe not for Thanksgiving, but around Thanksgiving, because it's an opportunity for you to include something nourishing for your body or for your loved ones, and it still tastes delicious. I thank you all so much for watching, and I look forward to providing you with some additional nutrition suggestions and solutions, especially in this kitchen, and be well.